Hello again, and welcome to the Prince Magnum channel. I'm your host, Prince Magnum. Welcome to the return of Do-It-Yourself Budget Hot Rodding. Now, for those who do not know, we won't be doing two sides of the same coin. We probably won't be doing it for a while. We don't have Project Vera anymore. We'll talk about that later on. It's kind of a sore subject for all of us here at home. But regardless, Project Vera has a new happy home. She will be doing just fine. It's just going to take a while for them to straighten that out. But we'll talk about that later. In the meantime, let's talk about current events. Project Spirit's transmission, her original one that's been in her tunnel for the last 43 years. Yeah, I finally broke the unbreakable. Guys, I knew better. And basically, what it boiled down to is I was trying to get the best possible footage for you all. Mainly, and to be honest with you, I basically let a couple of haters get under my skin, and I was looking for the best footage I could so I could flip them the bird, and I ended up basically, that's how this all really started. Her synchronizer going out, and then eventually the rest of the transmission behind it. Just things like that. I knew better. I was thinking short term, and I was letting my emotions get the better of me. So I ended up breaking the unbreakable. And at the same time, it was a lot of fun. So regardless, basically, that's what happened. What did we do? Well, here on the Prince Magnum channel, you'll note one of the many things is when things happen, you just fix it. You do what you have to. You pick up the pieces and you move on. You stand up for what you believe in. All the things that I've been trying to instill into everybody here, within the Maverick Nation the last couple of years. If you believe in it strong enough, you get out there and you do the best you can to defend that or stick up for it. Or if you want it to happen, you go out and you make it happen. So that's what we did. Basically, with a little help from my mother-in-law, who helped with the finances of this, we were able to get on Craigslist, just like how we found Project Spirit, and we were able to find a 3-speed manual to replace her original one. And the manual in question is out of a 1967 Ford Mustang. Pretty awesome. I know some of you might be saying, well, that's going older. Well, that's what we could find. It did take a moment to retrofit some of the things that are on Project Spirit's original transmission to work with the transmission that was from that Mustang. Basically, like little things like the bell housing was a little bit smaller, the pressure plate, flywheel, and the clutch was a little bit smaller. Where the transmission mount for the cross member was a little bit different, so I had to swap out the tail shafts. Other than that, everything bolted right up, no problem. Unfortunately, like everything else here on the Prince Magnum channel, we suffer from Murphy's Law, and basically what ended up happening is that we got the original transmission out, and it kind of started going sideways from there. At one point, I nearly took my finger off. I nearly had my hand broken. As soon as the dang pressure plate nearly took my finger off, I should have known that this project was going to go sideways. It turned into a hellish nightmare. And basically, in the end, I ended up having to have Project Spirit taken over to a shop and have the job finished. That's where it turned into the problem. So all total, for a transmission swap, it was still cheaper than if I'd have just, sent it to some shop or whatever. because I did a lot of the work myself. Like getting the old transmission out of the way and things like that. But basically, learned some hard lessons. Number one, don't let haters get to you. They don't know any better. They're stupid. Number two, um, you know, just because I've done, I've just because I've done it doesn't mean I'll be able to do it again down the road. My health isn't what it once was. Does this mean that I hang it all up? No. It's just that if I believe I'm about to bite off more than I can chew, I might want to go ahead and either A, get the help, or B, take it somewhere to get help. Um, we all know I will map out the project long beforehand, but basically, this is about the time that I'm starting to notice that there's certain things that I can't do anymore, and this is one of them. So if this becomes a problem again at a later date, which knowing me, I'll do something stupid, and it will. Um, Basically, the objective for me is to go ahead and just play it smart. You know, think steps ahead. And last but not least, um, I learned that that there are tons of businesses and friends out there that when you're going through a tough time, they're right there. So right now, I want to take time out and thank um, some local businesses, some friends, some coworkers, and even some people that are above me on the totem pole, if you will, at work. So let's start off with the obvious. The shop that did the work. I want to thank Ace Automotive over in Bonne Terre. I'll be posting the number. Look for it. Look for it. Okay, there it is. I want to thank them for finishing the work on Project Spirit. She runs great. I mean, I only have a few minor adjustments. And shoot, while they were at it, they went ahead and fixed the power steering line that I just hadn't gotten to yet. So they did an amazing job. Project Spirit runs very solid, very smooth. Couldn't ask for better. I want to thank Liberty Taxi. While this whole ordeal was going on, they were the ones that, at an affordable price, took us back and forth to work. Just amazing people. I want to thank my former co-worker and still very good friend Mark, right out of Park Hills, for helping us go pick up the transmission for Project Spirit. I want to thank him very much. I want to thank all of my co-workers who were right there, including some of Princess Faye's co-workers who helped us kind of get back and forth while the process of this was taken care of. And I also want to take time out and thank the owners of the McDonald's that I work at, Farmington One. I want to thank them because basically um, they also helped with some of the finances, without question, so I could get back to doing what I do best with Project Spirit, and that's enjoying the classics. Or in my case anymore now, she said, from 75, she's 43 years old, enjoying the antiques. Uh, I want to thank them for all the help that they gave us, um, and I want to thank, I just want to thank everybody who was right there. It, I know a lot of people were just glad to see Spirit back, and of course, in the process of all of this, from the video footage that you see cruising down Highway 67, there was a lot of people that I guess are probably new to the area or just hadn't noticed her before, was seeing her for the first time. A lot of kids were really like, wow, look at that. That's really awesome, and that's what this is all about here on the Prince Magnum channel, allowing everyone in some way, shape, or form to enjoy what we mistakenly still call classics, but now they're antiques. Um, True American cars. Um, you know, Pretty much 100% all American, American steel, American workers that built them. And that says volumes because Project Spirit's 43 years old and still out there doing what she does best. That brings us to the end of this episode of Do It Yourself Budget Hot Rodding. I hope you all enjoyed it. Um, Final thoughts. I don't think I'll be doing anything ridiculous and crazy for a while in Project Spirit. Uh, might want to take some time out and maybe see about taking it easy on got to break that new clutch in, and um, I think it's just better if I take it easy on her for a little while. It's just good to have her back. And as usual, if you enjoy this, um, you know, leave a like. If you have some suggestions of things that you might like to see happen here on the channel, good, solid, constructive criticism, please leave a comment in the box below. Any hatred will automatically get deleted or you'll be made fun of. Either way, uh, it's just not tolerated here on the channel. As usual, get out there and work on a project. If you have a sweetheart, sweep them off their feet. And as always, if nobody has told any of you that they love you today, Prince Magnum does. God bless you and have a happy 24. Thank you.
Good night, ladies.